In 1972, NASCAR legend Richard Petty signed a contract with STP. The deal with the fuel and oil additive brand was considered the first national sponsorship of a stock car. For $200,000, STP bought the rights to advertise on Petty's car for the entire season. Today, most cars in NASCAR's top series, the Sprint Cup, are covered in sponsorships. And $200,000 doesn't buy much anymore.
Dale Jr. Amp up.
Pepsi's energy drink AMP splits its sponsorship of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number 88 car with the National Guard. The two combined to pay more than $20 million a year for the rights. And AMP's story is an amazing success.
It was honestly an explosion. We had 5 million consumers try the product who had never tried it before. We drove awareness up to 76% from what had been in the 50s. It was just honestly a perfect storm.
AMP is now in 4th place in the energy drink category, up 2 spots from when it agreed to slap its logo on the hood of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car in 2008. But the brand got more bang for its buck.
Last year, over $750 million in AMP-branded merchandise was sold at tracks. That's the power of NASCAR. That's the power of Dale.
Earnhardt is undoubtedly boosted by the support of fans, who used to support his father, Dale Earnhardt Sr. But unlike his late father, Dale Jr. rarely finds himself in victory lane these days.
Right here's my boy. Yeah, my boy.
Right here.
You better start stepping up, though.
Earnhardt, nicknamed Little Lee, has only won 3 races in 4 years. This year, he will likely miss the chase, NASCAR's version of the playoffs, for the 3rd time in 5 years. When sponsors talk about the value of NASCAR, they often talk about the, quote, unprecedented access they receive. Paying for a primary sponsorship allows a company to use the driver before every race for big appearances, or just meet and greets with some of the company's top revenue generators.
Hey everybody, good to see you all.
We went with Kyle Busch, driver of the number 18 M&M's car, to the Mars headquarters in Hackettstown, New Jersey, where he was given a tour, spoke to employees, and signed autographs.
Well, the biggest thing, you're made available. They get opportunities to come see you.
So what does a company get when they buy into NASCAR? For primary team sponsors, it's their logo on the hood of the car. For official partners, it's the right to get into this never-before-seen meeting, where companies make a speedy pitch to score millions of dollars worth of business from each other.
What are you doing?
Aflac is reportedly paying $78 million over 3 years to be the primary sponsor on Carl Edwards' car. But Aflac also pays NASCAR a fee to call itself the official supplemental insurance partner of NASCAR. The company also gets to pitch their brand to other NASCAR partners.
First and foremost, we are building relationships with the other sponsors of NASCAR, and it's very important to us because at the end of the day, Aflac, we don't have a product, we don't have something you can taste and touch. We have a promise that we're making.
Office Depot not only sponsors driver Tony Stewart, they also pay to be called the official small business of NASCAR. A deal that's important because of the business-to-business opportunities it provides.
We're taking that relationship to the next level, and in some cases it's those relationships that are helping us connect with other of the hundreds of sponsors in NASCAR.
Return on investment is being scrutinized more than ever before, but the company that pays the most money to be affiliated with NASCAR, Sprint, says all is well. In 2004, Nextel became the primary sponsor of NASCAR's top circuit by agreeing to a sponsorship record 10-year deal reportedly worth $750 million. When Sprint acquired Nextel, branding at all the tracks eventually became Sprint. By 2008, NASCAR's top series was known as the Sprint Cup. Tom Murphy, Sprint's vice president of media and sponsorships, told us the brand's investment in sport hasn't changed.
This is a superior marketing asset, and we judge it in the ways that any marketer would, no differently than when we buy television advertising and airtime, where we buy print newspaper or magazine advertisements. This is a giant ad machine for us.
Sprint gets hundreds of millions of dollars in television exposure every year of the deal. And the company has further appealed to NASCAR fans by improving cell reception at the track, a long-time problem. NASCAR fans have proven to be more loyal than others. The company says fans churn at half the rate that other customers do. But it's not all a pretty picture in the world of NASCAR, as Chairman and CEO Brian France readily admits.
It's tough right now. There's no question that you know, I think most CEOs and most commissioners would say that they've never seen more challenges on balance than they do right now.
On the top of France's mind is the health of the U.S. car industry, a business that is intricately connected with the sport. Roughly 10% of track revenues and hundreds of millions of dollars come from the car manufacturers. And of course, 2 of the 4 companies whose cars are in the sport, General Motors and Chrysler, filed for bankruptcy in 2009.
We made our rounds in Washington with our Congress and others who had concerns, and we made the point that these companies still have to sell their products long after they've gone through a business challenge. So we're one of the places that has historically worked well, and we're going to work in the future for these companies.
Before the season, Chrysler officials said it would cut NASCAR marketing expenses by 30%. In June, General Motors, whose cars have won the last 6 Sprint Cup titles, announced it was cutting factory support of teams in NASCAR's lower-level series, part of a group of reductions that GM execs say, like other cuts, will help the bottom line.
We've actually seen that the ROI increase because we've had a little bit less investment, and we've continued to keep the sales up there by being creative.
Ford execs say their NASCAR spend will stay the same in 2009, after making some major cuts last year. Even though 40% of the buying public considers themselves race fans, we asked Ford's Brian Wolf if the win on Sunday, buy on Monday mentality makes sense.
Some of the critics say, how do you sell when the car that's on the track is not the car that people would drive on the streets? And I'll give you an example. You go through it, it has no doors, no speedometer, no gas gauges, no air conditioning, no airbags, no locks, no cruise control, no keys, no glove compartment, no horn.
Sure, but and that's true. But when you look at all forms of motorsports, right from the beginning, when you're out on the track, it's what's in the vehicle, right? And Ford Racing, we use the same technology that we use in our production products to help make that car perform better on the track.